This video should be the most valuable piece of reference that you have for applying Shiny Car Stuff. I will go over everything. Shiny Car Stuff is a wipe-on clear coat. It is designed to be wiped on by hand. How is it different than baby oil or WD-40? It actually cures. It's a mixture of resins and solvents. Resin is your solid content, and as the solvents evaporate, you are left with your UV protective coating. That's the big difference. Before buying Shiny Car Stuff, you should already know if it will work. If you take a wet towel over the area and you wipe over, the way it looks wet is the way it should look when Shiny Car Stuff is cured. Basically, it's ruling out base coat damage to see, all right, if it's wet, clear coat dries with the wet finish, correct? That is what you can expect. So you can see, oh, I have some base coat damage. It's not going to look perfect. Once you know it will work for your car, it is time to fold a shop towel and apply. I cannot stress this enough, do not use a microfiber towel. It will leave streaks. We use Prep All Wax and Grease Remover for our final wipe down panel prep. You can also use 70% isopropyl alcohol. You can buy that at Walgreens or anywhere. It will work for most cases. The biggest problem we have are beginners sometimes don't clean the panel, they don't follow directions, and then they are left with bad results. So I highly recommend you take a piece of a panel like this bumper here, do a little small section there, maybe give it 24 hours and come back and see it dry, and then once you know that you can do it in a small section perfectly, then do a whole panel. And then maybe you just let that dry for 24 hours, see what that looks like, and then move on to the whole car. We get a lot of one-star reviews because people don't clean the panels, they don't apply the product correctly. This is a watch what you're doing and apply it evenly on a completely clean surface, and you will be golden. The two cardinal sins when applying Shiny Car Stuff is applying to a dirty panel, which will yield hazy, foggy results from the dirt, and getting it wet before it's cured. So do not get this coating wet before it is cured. It will be a hazy mess. So plan accordingly if your car needs to be outside. We come to our next question. How much product do I need? And you will need much less product on a panel like this than you will need on something completely sun damaged. So we're talking about density here. So the clear coat isn't attacked here, it's just thin. Whereas this clear coat's completely gone off the car. This will need 2 coats to look perfect. So when we talk about multiple coats, we have to talk about sanding because Shiny Car Stuff itself is so hydrophobic itself that it will not adhere to itself. So we're talking about adhesion. So in between coats of Shiny Car Stuff, you do need to sand with probably 3,000, 4,000, very gently, just scuff up so that second layer can bite into it. So sanding is definitely needed for that finishing coat for really bad vehicles if you want pristine, beautiful, body shop looking result. Now let's talk about cure time. 48 hours is the cure time, and 12 to 14 hours would be your set time where you can drive the vehicle and not worry about getting it wet. I wouldn't wash it, just if it rains while you're going to work, you won't have to worry about it. So some factors that could make it take longer to cure would be high humidity or low temperatures, or you just dumped an entire bottle on a hood, meaning you use way too much for a single coating, which would make it take longer to cure. Now that your Shiny Car Stuff is cured, let's talk about how to wash and take care of it. So hand wash, power washing is all good. Obviously, if you put a 0-degree tip on, you could blast it off the paint or blast your paint off too. So just, standard hand washing and power washing is just fine. Just avoid taking it to tunnel washes. If it scratches your actual clear coat, it can also scratch your Shiny Car Stuff clear coat. How long does Shiny Car Stuff last? Well, that's not a simple question because there are a lot of factors. How thick did you apply it? What is your UV index? Or do you have a black car or a silver car? A lot of factors come into that. So in general, thickness equals longevity. So the thicker the coat is, the longer it's going to last. Granted, you are not beat down on in a UV heavy, area. So you can expect a year, even in Las Vegas or a high UV index area. 2 years would be standard. Even longer, like talking about 3 or 4 years if you're talking about keeping it in a garage and daily driving it. So those are all factors that affect longevity. I am showing you right here in this video the thickness after application. Where I didn't apply it is, reads thin on the paint meter. It is much thicker on the side that I applied Shiny Car Stuff to, showing that you are indeed adding depth, gloss, and UV protection. More depth equals more UV protection for your base coat. Keep that in mind. After 48 hours, you can ceramic coat over Shiny Car Stuff if you would like improved hydrophobic qualities and ease of cleaning, although Shiny Car Stuff is very hydrophobic itself. Shiny Car Stuff was created with flexible polymers, meaning it can survive in extreme heats and colds, meaning it expands and it contracts with the weather. So when it's hot outside, it expands. When it's very cold in the winter, it contracts. And it will not flake or chip due to that. It will more or less just lose its hydrophobic properties over time and lose its gloss retention. So you could test the longevity of the coating with how much gloss is left after X amount of time. So that's how we test ours. After a year, the gloss retention was at 75%, which is very good indicator that it will last over 2 years. If you get around 40 or 50% gloss retention and no hydrophobic properties, you might want to apply another coat just to up that shine and bring it back to new. The only time you should need to remove Shiny Car Stuff would be if the finish is ruined. The two reasons a finish gets ruined would be if it drops below freezing while it's curing, or if it gets wet before it's cured. So at that point, you are going to end up with a hazy mess all over your car. And I would recommend that you get a bottle of Goof Off and just remove the coating. It is very fast, efficient, but this is heavy stuff. So definitely be careful with it on your paint. I always suggest that you water it down with either water or some type of spray, and don't let it sit on your paint very long, just long enough to get the ruined finish Shiny Car Stuff coating off. If you've been following me for a while, you are familiar with Diamond Clear and Shiny Car Stuff and probably the difference, but a lot of people still ask me, what is the difference between Diamond Clear and Shiny Car Stuff? Basically, Diamond Clear was a product for wholesale work. 90% of its uses are for wholesale work. If you are buying this for personal use, Diamond Clear is not the way to go. It is basically a very thin version of this. It doesn't last as long. It doesn't look as good. It doesn't cover as much damage. Buy Shiny Car Stuff if you are a retail customer doing this. Buy Diamond Clear if you are a mobile vendor that goes to dealerships and does work in volume for bottom dollar. That's how you make money with Diamond Clear. And yes, it's available on our website, but Shiny Car Stuff is our main priority because 99% of our customers are retail customers. Shiny Car Stuff is air curing, which means if you leave a little tiny bit of Shiny Car Stuff in a bunch of air in your bottle, it is going to be hardened next time you go to use it. So think about air curing as this will harden after I open it. So try to use that entire bottle in one sitting. If you want to become a master at applying Shiny Car Stuff, I suggest you just keep practicing a little bit and you will get better. It is like learning to ride a bike. It is not hard. I know we make it look easy in the videos, but we are using even pressure. We understand after 14,000 car applications how to apply this stuff, so just be patient. Some people get it faster than others. We're a small business and we appreciate each and every one of our followers. I have taught classes on this stuff. I am very informed about hand-applied clear coats, and I hope this information helped you guys. And feel free to comment if you have any remaining questions. I really appreciate all of you guys. Thanks.